Alright, so the first thing you want to do is right click in your content browser, go to Effects, and find the Niagara emitter. When you select it, you want to click the new emitter up here, next, and then in the search bar right here, search for fountain, select that, and hit finish. And then title this NE for Niagara emitter and call it snow. Open it up. Once you have it open, you want to click it right here and come over here to the search and search for cone angle. This is sort of how wide the cone angle is. And I would like it to be a little bit wider than 32, so I'm going to set it to about 45. And all of these values are adjustable to you, so if you want your cone angle down here to be like 200, you could do so if you want to. But I'm just going to keep mine 45, maybe even 40, somewhere around there. Next, for our snow, we want this to not be like a central point, or we want the central point to be a lot wider. So over here, we're going to search for sphere radius right here and set this to something like 3000. And as you can see over here, you can barely see the particles, which we'll fix in a moment. But as you can see, they're a lot more spread out now. Keep in mind, this is also where optimization comes in, because if the map is super large, then you want your emitter to just follow the player, so you don't need a massive sphere radius. But if the level is kind of small, you could probably get away with just using one emitter in the whole level and have it not follow the player. And you could make the sphere radius be large. So it's really up to you to make optimizations right here. Alright, so next, since the particles are going up, we want to fix that. So come up here and search for velocity. And once you search for velocity, kind of scroll down and find the velocity speed right here. Currently it's set at 500 and 850, but we are going to set this to negative 1000 for the minimum. And it scrolled me back up for some reason. Negative 1000 for the minimum, and then negative 750 for the maximum. And as you can see, our little particles over here are now falling down. You may not see it too well on the video, but if you're following along, you can probably see it better on your screen. So next, we want a lot more particles in here because it looks kind of bland. It looks like a very light snow. And typically, to make it look decent, you want to make your spawn rate be the same as your sphere radius. So search for sphere, or not sphere radius, spawn rate. And currently the spawn rate is set to 90, but our sphere radius is 3000. So I'm going to set the spawn rate to 3000. And as you can see, it's a lot more snow falling out of the sky. Next, I want to adjust how fast it's actually falling, because it's falling pretty fast for snow. It's falling at like rain speeds or something. So I'm just going to simply search for gravity. And 980 right here is real life gravity, but in the engine. So I'm going to set this to something super small, like negative 20. Just so it's super light snow. You could even possibly go to like negative 10 if you wanted to. It's really up to you. And again, all these settings are up to you, how you want your snow to look like. Next is the lifetime, because you want the snow to last quite a while so it can fully make it to the ground. But you don't want it to last too long where there's way too many particles on screen. So search for lifetime. And the lifetime min, I'm going to set this to about 7. And the lifetime max, I'm going to set to about 12. And see, this is where it really amps up the particles right here. We're at 20, 23, 24, 25. We get to about 25,000 particles. So this is where some really heavy optimizations can come in. You could keep this default value, just 1 and 2, and it looks decent. Or you could just bump it up to maybe like 2 and 3. And just have it a little bit heavier. So next, if the actual particles themselves seem too big for you, Then you can search for sprite attributes, I believe it's called. Yes, right here, uniform sprite size. It's currently set at 6 and 12. I kind of like the minimum size because these smaller particles look good, but this 12 seems a bit too big, so I'm going to drop it down to about 8, like that. And that looks much better. So we can make sure to apply and save this, and we can close out of this emitter. So now what you want to do is right click your emitter and select create Niagara system, and then make sure you file and save, and then we can drag this Niagara system into our level. We can press play, and as you can see, the snow is falling. The snow is still falling a bit too fast for my liking, but like I said before, you can mess around with settings and get it to exactly how you want it. I'd like the snow to fall super, super, super slow. And yeah, that's how you can make simple snow in Unreal Engine. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.